Good day, viewers, and welcome to another exciting episode on Moments with PJ. My name is Chinasa Elizabeth Omeruga, and I'll be your anchor for today's episode. Today, we shall be talking about a very interesting topic: the impact of childhood trauma on adult relationship. I would like us to have a better understanding on how childhood trauma affects our adult relationship. As children, some of us we went through series of traumas that till date we find it difficult, or we get distressed when we think about it, or we come close to a near scenario of what happened during our childhood. On the studio here with me is PJ, who is going to assist us while we discuss on this exciting topic. PJ, you're welcome to today's episode.
Thank you, Chinasa, for having me.
Yes, sir. So, sir, concerning trust issues when it comes to childhood traumas, I want you to assist us in or better still, educate us better on how best we should deal with trusting our partners, regardless of the traumas we had growing up. Because in most relationships, we manage our present relationship either by or due to how we went through trauma in our childhood, or the stress or distress it causes us in growing up. So I want you to help us navigate through these trust issues.
Okay, thank you, Chinasa. The truth is, the childhood is actually the foundation for adulthood.
Mm.
So, if the foundation is faulty, there may be difficulty at adult stage.
Yes, sir.
At the childhood stage of our lives, a lot of things were instilled. That's why our parents instilled what is love, instilled hate, instilled discipline, instill self-control and contentment. All of these were instilled in us at childhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because it is foundational, anything we grow with, anything we got at that time, were difficult to leave,
Yeah.
even at old age. They became the bedrock upon which we build our personal beliefs as we mature in life.
Yes.
And so those traumas have adverse effects. Like you rightly pointed out in your opening thoughts, one of the things are trust issues. Honestly, because when you abuse a child at that infancy, it becomes a foundation to judging everything that looks like the object of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so it becomes a problem. If the child are going to become adult and is into a relationship, how do we help them? You must discuss these things. Such a thing are not the things you sweep under the carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Everything your partner needs to know about you that can help you get better, say it. And so, if you were molested as a girl child, as an adult, confide in your partner. Yeah, it can be shameful, but why are you telling your partner? So he can understand how best to relate with you and handle you.
Okay.
Okay. Some persons had serious beatings from their parents. Parents that believe that corporal punishment
Mm.
can help correct the child, which is false. Okay. So they grow up with that. And in psychology, we'll be told that an abused child will grow to become an abused parent
Mm-hmm.
who also produce abused children.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes,
And
sir.
so the trust issue, whatever it was that caused that, should be discussed. Yes, it could be shameful, not palatable to discuss, but open it up to your spouse.
Mm. Okay.
With that, you can be helped.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sir. In regards to sharing our past traumas with our new relationship or partner in the relationship, in a scenario where this lady has had series of relationship and she deemed it fit to always tell them about, oh, this was or this is what I went through during my childhood, and they were cool with it at some point, but along the line they started using it as a
Abuse.
yardstick to always remind her. He or she could be going through distress, reminding
Yes.
her of what she's trying so hard to forget
Forget.
about. So in this scenario where she keeps telling the different relationship partners about these traumas, and it's not ending well, and now a new person is coming forth, do you advise her to also tell the person from the very beginning into the relationship?
Okay, thank you. Well, Jonas, I omitted something in earlier. You, the abused person, has a responsibility to yourself. Yes, it is a past, no matter how ugly, it's your past. And you must try to put it or place it where it belongs.
Yes.
The past. How? You need to give yourself time to heal over it. Okay? You need to know that the memories of your past is hampering the joy of your future.
Yes.
And so you need to work on yourself. So you don't necessarily need to wait for a spouse to help bring the healing. The reason why your spouse needs to know is because there are some attitudinal display that they will make that your spouse will wonder where they are coming from. So when a spouse understands a little of your background, so when they display that, they will be surprised. Okay? So it's not that you're just throwing up everything to everybody you see. Okay, so at what point should I now talk to someone?
Yes.
Yes, it is a past and it's not palatable.
Yes.
For me, relate normally.
Okay.
When be healed of your past. Don't live in the memories of your pain. So open your heart to a new conversation and new relationship.
Yes.
Get along with a new relationship. Try as much as you can to be good in the relationship. When you realize that this relationship is going to be taking us into a marriage, then you can share experiences. Okay, so it is during the point of courtship or dating when you start having meaningful conversation about yourselves that you cannot tell. You can't believe I had a funny experience. It shaped my growing up. It distorted my mentality. Oh, talk to me about it. You cannot talk about it. Do you understand? So it is not every relationship you just open and talk about your past. It is that one that you have seen, among other things, that it is graduating or metamorphosing into becoming a marriage. Where the two of you are going to be sharing life together. At that point, they need to know. Reason is very simple. In this life, nothing is hidden. You may be keeping it, and somewhere will just slip it to him, and he will feel disappointed that he's getting married to you, and an external person is telling you, this is your girl. I used to know her those days. She had this trauma. Armed robbers attacked them at home. I think she was raped then. So you can imagine him hearing from an outsider when the two of you are becoming so deep in the relationship. And so it is that relationship that you are convinced is going to end with a meaningful end that you can open such a thing. Okay? So on the periphery, you don't need to open up and start talking to everybody about it.
Okay. So what you're saying now in essence is it's not because I agree to get into a relationship with you, I should immediately tell you about my trauma.
Oh, no, not
So
so.
now, if along the line we're already in the relationship,
Yes.
it's leading to marriage,
Okay.
and I now deem it feel like, oh, let me tell this man, or let the man tell the woman the trauma I passed through during my childhood.
Yeah.
But either parties are not matured in mind, they don't have that emotional intelligence to deal with such, and they feel, no, I cannot get married to somebody like this. Don't you think it's going to weigh in on that person and also
Certainly.
distort the person's mind?
Certainly, China side is going to wreck the person. Now, that's why I say give it time before you discuss it. The reason I said that is such things are discussed with trusted persons.
Okay.
So before you bring conversation, you must have built trust over time. You must have had a form of confidence in this person. So this wouldn't be a very first serious discussion you're having with him about yourself, your family, or upbringing. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, sir.
And so this is not the first thing. You must have over the months or years of seeing him or her know her ability to receive such. Like you said, her emotional intelligence in relation to such information.
Yeah.
Okay, so within the course of your dating, you will know if it's favorably disposed to having it.
So you know there are some discussions that throws you off balance
Yes,
as an individual.
yes,
There are some things you feel you can handle until you're being told,
that's true.
and then you would not even know when you reacted.
Now, the truth is, reaction is different from decision. He can be thrown off balance by that, or she can be thrown off balance.
Mhm.
The overriding principle or the guiding force here is the love you both share.
Mhm.
He may feel disappointed because that trauma is not just of yours. It may not be, it may not be emotionally stable to handling it.
Yeah.
So he feel disappointed, he feel pain, he feel surprised. But I would not expect him to take a decision or make a decision on that because you have wintered and summer for
Summer.
1 month.
Yeah.
You have been together for 2 months. You have shared fun moments.
Yeah.
Okay, you have built over time, you have bonded, there's familiarity, there's an attachment, there's a commitment. So there are a lot of things that can make him check or that can check his decision
Mm.
based on what you are sharing with him.
Mhm.
Yes, you may have one or two setbacks or withdrawal to go and analyze, but he will look at wow, the fun moments. Now, if indeed the guy loves the lady, I will expect him to be mature. And that's why relationship is for mature people. Jenasa, it takes maturity. Now, whether physical or emotional, but it takes maturity to hearing such.
Mm.
Now, for example, you're telling your guy that you can't believe my father abused me when I was 17. It has happened. There are people with such stigmas. Their father deflowered them. And you're telling such to your spouse. Some person will tell you, don't ever say it. But listen, the walls have ears. I counsel people, anything you know he will know in the future that will make him get angry. See, say it. It is better he hears from you
From you.
and is not comfortable
Mhm.
than hear from someone else.
Mm.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
So,
sir.
yes, people may react differently, but you have done the honorable thing that transparency required, that you say it and that you have done. You have justified your conscience that you've not done anything wrong. It's a past you don't have control over. And
Mm.
so, if he bases a decision on that, he doesn't love you enough.
Mm.
That's the truth. Because everybody's got the past. Everybody. Mine could be worse in your own eyes, but we all have our past. And so if I love you today, I should love your process. I'm seeing a beautiful tea as a product. So if I love the product, I should be proud of our process that are giving birth to this beautiful damsel sitting with me. So that's how to reason, not to now demonize her for the things that make her stronger.
Yeah.
So it depends on the maturity of the people involved,
Involved.
and of course the love. Love, they say, conquers all. You can feel pain for her that she was done that pain. But that is the best time to reassure her of your love and
Yes,
commitment.
yes, yes. That's true.
Do you
That's
understand?
true.
So, an intelligent person will seize the moment and reassure the spouse of undying support and love. At that point, you become a support structure. As against withdrawing, she will lean on you or he will lean
You
on you for
become the
life.
number one go-to.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. So you don't demonize her of her past. You take advantage of that and become the shoulder she needs to cry her past on.
Mm, mm. That's very correct, PJ. Thank you so much for this thoughtful discussion. When we talk about empathy,
Yes.
like for instance, the guy hears about it, the lady or the guy, either parties, tells each other about their childhood trauma in the course of the relationship. And at first there was reactions, but the girl or the lady starts thinking, oh, if I leave her now, it it will feel somehow, it will look somehow. What would people say? And he or she settles with um having empathy with this lady, like now getting married to either party out of empathy. Do you advise that, oh, the guy or the lady involved should continue the relationship because of empathy, like, oh, I what if I was in this person's shoes and all of that, but inside of him or inside of her, he does not want to have that relationship. And in this case scenario, along the line,
Such a person will say it in the future.
definitely, that's what I wanted to say.
He will say
That's
it.
what I wanted
He will
to say.
say it. Okay. Now, let us get the right word. Use was empathy. Empathy is beautiful, but you should not marry with sympathy. You can marry for empathy, but don't marry for sympathy.
What if it is sympathy?
You don't marry with sympathy. The marriage will not last.
Mm.
It will crash land. See, I'll share this very, very painful story. A mature woman once met me. I happen to know her background. Her parents were well to do. They sent her to one of the best universities in Nigeria.
Mm.
She was doing very well, and she's still doing very well. But her husband was from the poor background. They both met in the university, but the young man was of the poor background, okay? This lady, beautiful lady, the parents loved her and all that, and they had all the money.
Mm.
So I asked her, because they are now married with children,
Okay.
and the marriage isn't just too sweet. So one of the days she came for counsel, and I asked her, said, why did you marry your husband? Now, this is a question most ladies should be ready for in case anything goes wrong in the future. Why did you marry your husband? This woman paused and said, PJ, I married out of sympathy. And you could see tears. Tears came out of her eyes immediately. And the next thing that followed were regrets. PJ, I had 3 men that want my hand in marriage. Wealthy, intelligent, educated, very okay. My husband then was the poorest, but I had pity for him. I had pity for his story. I saw a poor man who struggled to go to school. I saw a guy from a poor home who paid his way through school. He labored to become something. And I felt he deserved to be loved. And I loved him. And I married him. And I laughed. It sounds good then.
Yeah.
25 years down the line, regret. If you dare marry for sympathy, time will come you will regret it. Sympathy is no love. When you are sympathetic, you can do things to help them. But marriage is tying your future. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Marriage is tying your future. The entirety of your destiny is wrapped up in the person you are marrying. And so, sympathy should not be a factor. In fact, if you pity him, don't marry him. You get that? If you pity him, don't marry him. When you pity somebody, it's not a sign of love. Because time will come, that thing that made you have pity will leave. Reality will dawn on you. Marry because you know them well. Marry because he fits into your dream and aspiration. Marry because it can be a support system for you. Okay, so that somebody had trauma and you feel for their trauma. Because of their trauma, you are marrying them. You are marrying for the wrong reason. You may not enjoy the best in that marriage. The reason you need to know about the trauma is to get you armed. So you know how well to relate with them. So when they react, you know why they do what they do. Because it actually distorted few things about their psyche. All right. So it helps you get prepared to know how best to follow. You love them, but there's something about their mind. Okay. And so you need to get this information to know how best to relate with them. But if you do not love them first, if there is no chemistry, physical, emotional attraction between you two, If it does not fit into your purpose, dreams, and aspiration, please, a million trauma cannot translate to love. It's not the best way to start a marriage.
Thank you so much, PJ, for that wonderful explanation. In summary, sir,
Yes.
when we talk about post-trauma stress disorder, how do you advise the girl child, the male child? How do you advise them to manage the PTSD?
All right. Post stress disorder is common. Okay. Now, the very first thing you must do, all honesty, is to go to a practitioner
Mm,
who will navigate you through therapy and make you get better.
mm,
Because we cannot ascertain the damage done
mm,
to your psyche, okay, by that. So, but a very good trained psychologist can help you.
mm,
If it's a psychiatric issue, he will help you do that. So, the first thing you must do is to go get a counselor that can be patient enough to listen. Because one of the ways to get healed for them is to allow them say it out and cry it out.
oh,
Now, a counselor is believed to be magnanimous, to listen to all those things and never use it against them.
against them, yes.
Okay, so you need to get a trained professional who they can trust and confide in. They will not take it on package basis. What is the nature of the trauma will not determine the kind of therapy and counseling session they need to go. But honestly, they need to go through a form of counseling. Why? It is a disorder. So we need to put it in order.
Mm, mm,
Do you understand?
yes, sir.
So that, and it's a mind.
Yeah.
So you need a mind doctor, not a medical doctor.
Mm,
So a mind doctor will listen, analyze it on per case basis, patiently follow them, navigate them through, but they can be lovely, wonderful adults.
mm.
Yes.
Thank you so much, PJ, for these beautiful thoughts you've shared with us. Our viewers out there, I want to indulge us. When we come around people that went through trauma in
Yeah.
childhood, the best thing to do first is to love them.
Love them.
When you love them first, then you could navigate them through this disorder to
Mm.
put them in order. Thank you so much, our viewers, for always staying put, always joining us. Without you, as I usually say, there is no moment with PJ. We applaud you for always tuning to our channel. Please kindly like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode on Moments with PJ. Until we meet again, stay blessed. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Shalom, greeting in Jesus' precious name.
Amen.